You're listening to Glove Up or Shut Up on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
You're listening to Glove Up or Shut Up on AngryMarks.com with Peter H. and Stevie J. Find them on Twitter at HardcoreCDN and at AngryMarks. And now, for all the news, reviews, and interviews in mixed martial arts, it's time for Glove Up or Shut Up from AngryMarks.com.
And welcome everybody to another episode of Glove Up or Shut Up right here on AngryMarks.com. My name is Peter H. I'm joined once again by my co-host from Omaha, Nebraska, Stevie J.
And you are looking at a new top contender in the UFC heavyweight division, and it's Alexander Volkov?
It's not Brock Lesnar?
No, it's not. It is the former Bellator champion.
Yeah, we're going to talk UFC Fight Night 127, and we've got some news, Stevie, and I mean, we're in the middle of March Madness, and this main event, it went to the fourth round, Verdum looked tired, and Volkov took advantage, and if you would have told me in January or even November that Volkov would be a highlight of the UFC heavyweight division, I'd be doubting you a little bit there.
I wouldn't disagree with you on doubting that, but he really executed an excellent strategy, which was to let Verdum work really hard to get the takedowns and grapple with him early on, and as you said, over the course of the fight, the longer it went, particularly in the third round, you could see that Verdum was getting tired from going for all those takedowns and trying to find his openings on the ground. And can you really say it's any wonder that's the case? I mean, the man is 40 years old. He's not exactly a spring chicken, so there was some point where Father Time was going to catch up to Fabricio Verdum, and considering Volkov is only 29 years old, he was the perfect guy to exploit that.
Now, do you think the location of the fight had something to do with it because it was in London, England?
Well, I don't think that you can say it's like an altitude thing. I don't think there was any risk of them gassing out being like in Denver or Mexico City. I would say it's just simply the fact that Volkov is younger, less tread worn off the tires, and probably a more disciplined fighter who realized he could wait until it got to the deep waters and then he could drown him.
But with the heavyweight fighters, I find that you don't need to have that muscular look because you said on the show before, the more muscle you are, the more oxygen you need.
That's very true.
For a 5-round fight, you're going to need a lot of oxygen. And for Volkov to attack the gas tank was great strategy.
Brilliant strategy. It worked to perfection.
The official time, 1 minute 38 seconds of the fourth round. Volkov, right at the end, after he won the fight, he brushed off the shoulder like Luke Skywalker, and it's like, uh-oh. That's going to be a gift for a while there.
Indeed it will. And he also can brush the dirt off his shoulder from pocketing a big $50,000 performance of the night bonus.
Absolutely. Before we move on, you mentioned off air that Cain Velasquez is no longer ranked.
Yeah, they dropped him from the rankings. In fact, they actually initially dropped Cub Swanson from the rankings, but I guess he renewed his UFC deal because we got another email immediately after we got the notice saying to fill out our rankings, saying, even though we told you Cub Swanson had been removed, he is now eligible to be ranked again, so please remember where you had him ranked before.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Let's move on to the co-main event. It was Jimmy Manuwa and Jan Blachowicz. 30-27, 29-28, and 29-28 for Blachowicz here. I have no problem with this.
Deja vu, because the next fight we're going to talk about had the exact same scores.
Yep, Tom Duquesne and Terrion Ware with Duquesne winning. Back-to-back decisions, so you know that knockout finish in the main event had a little bit extra on it.
Yeah, it was definitely welcomed and needed at that point in the card, but not quite as amazing as the TKO we had in the opener, which I believe, tied the record for the latest finish ever in a UFC fight.
Well, it was the actual second fight on this card that ended at the 4:59 mark.
That's why I said tied
round.
the record, because there was one earlier in the night.
Yeah, you never see two at the same card with 1 second left, but Leon Edwards beating Peter Sabata with TKO at 4:59 of the third. Good for Edwards. It's a statement win for him because the last 10 seconds, the guys are going to pour it on, but to actually have a finish, I think people are going to, is it weird to say people are going to respect his power more after this win?
I think so. I don't think that's weird at all. And they're definitely going to respect Paul Craig more on the ground because,
yeah.
I mean, what part of Magomed Ankalaev couldn't say, I'll just hold on, I won't tap out for another 1 second, and it'll go to the judges, and maybe I can get a split decision. No, that triangle choke was on so tight that even with 1 second left, he still had to give up.
I think it might have been something popping, or...
Yeah, I'm sure whatever he felt, it didn't feel good, and he could not wait.
No, Danny Roberts couldn't wait either. He knocked out Oliver MCAP in 2 minutes and 12 seconds.
Not getting paid by the hour. No, he went out there and blitzed him.
Yeah, and let's move on. Charles Byrd beating John Phillips with a rear naked choke in the first round at 3:58. You mentioned this time and time again, that first round submission victories. You're not as sweaty. It's easier to latch on. But to get the victory is another thing, right? So, I mean, he looks up at the clock, you still have a minute left, and you're in a rear naked choke. Unless you can put the arm under the chin to kind of block it a little bit, you're not going to last a minute. I don't care who you are.
Yeah, you got to have some really high-level defense, or you've got to have such excellent hip control that you can spin out of a tight body triangle and spin your way on top. I mean, it's possible. I've seen guys do it plenty of times, but not everybody is at that level of grappling.
Why don't you talk about Danny Henry and Hakeem Dawood?
Dawodu,
sorry.
Yeah, that one only went 39 seconds, and this is a technical submission because Hakeem did not tap to the guillotine. He just got caught in it, and Henry cranked, and that's how it is a lot of times with guillotines. You see this all the time when somebody shoots for a takedown and they just leave their neck out there and the guy just grab a hold of it and fall back with it and pull with all his might. Sometimes you just go out. You don't even get a chance to tap.
No, and it was kind of scary because, I mean, I expect this fight to last more than a minute. I don't know. Maybe I was wrong. I guess I was, but it's hard to explain the angry yelling I was doing when I watched that fight because I was like, you're kidding me right now. Like, good for him. We talk about game plan execution. If that was his plan to go in and do that, perfection.
Right. In fact, if you like finishes, the preliminary card of UFC London was excellent, and if you wanted to bookend the main card with finishes, it was excellent. So the only two fights that I would say were, questionable would be Cajun Johnson and Stevie Ray going to a split decision, and maybe Duquesne and Ware. Some people think that Ware might have actually won, but I still agree with the scorecards in that one. I think Duquesne gets the nod.
Well, Dimitri Sosnolisky.
Yeah, you got it. You nailed it.
Beat Mark Goodbeer. 4:29 of the second round with a rear naked choke. But yeah, we should move on to Cajun Johnson and Stevie Ray because I think, was it you who posted it? Someone posted it and I just wrote judges, huh? Oh, it was the boxing. It was the Pacquiao fight. That's what it was. But it reminded me as well.
It was that Deadspin article that I shared where they said, large tub of potato salad becomes new WBO champion.
Yeah.
Pissed off a friend of mine from Australia, too. He was like, come on, Deadspin, have a little more professionalism.
Jeez. But Cajun Johnson and Stevie Ray, you know, when they go to the judges and both hands are there and the winner and the one guy up and one guy's down and it's like the guy who lost is like, wait, I lost? It's like, yeah, you left it to the judges. You didn't do your job.
Stevie Ray, sorry about your bad luck.
I mean, if you can't get the job done in 15 minutes, and you're relying on three guys cage side who more than likely have never actually fought. It's usually guys who, hopefully they would have taken a course or two in MMA judging. That's just my opinion.
Right.
But
and hopefully from somebody like Sean Wheelock, who is on an athletic commission and knows both sides of the equation.
Absolutely. Or at least someone who knows what they're watching, because when you see like a 30-27, 30-27, and a 27-30, or that's one end of the spectrum. But this one here, it was a split decision. You could have done this 10 times. One guy's going to win 5, the other guy's going to win 5. It's not that complicated.
No.
But I would like to see these guys fight again.
I wouldn't mind it. I don't know if it's really that necessary, though. You want to do rematches when it's like a current champion and a former champion and they're going back to see if they can turn things around and get the title back. You want it to be an intriguing, high-level rematch that people will really get into. And I'm not saying Cajun Johnson and Stevie Ray aren't both excellent fighters. I'm just saying it doesn't have that casual fan appeal to run it back again.
Well, Cajun Johnson, he gets the W here, but Stevie Ray, he's from overseas.
Yes.
And I believe Cajun Johnson's from the States, correct?
No, I'm pretty darn sure he's Canadian.
Oh, right.
He was on Tough Nations, Canada versus Australia. Have you forgotten that?
Oh, jeez, I watched so much Tough, it kind of blended together after a while, to be honest.
He was one of the stars of that season.
What are we, season 26 now? Season 27?
I don't know. There's been a lot.
I know the next season's got Kane and Cormier.
Right.
So, we'll hopefully see that season soon. There's a lot of Tough, but yeah, Tough Nations, if I think about it for half a second, yeah. Cajun Johnson, have that rematch, say, in Montreal. Big hotbed of MMA action there. That'd be a good rematch to go with.
I'm not saying you couldn't do it. I'm just saying I don't know if people are clamoring for it. I'm just being honest here.
That's fair. Alright, so that's the UFC Fight Night 127 card, and we don't have another UFC or Bellator show until the week after, because on
April 7th, 2018, Ferguson versus Habib. That's your next card.
That's for UFC, but the night before is Bellator 196, Henderson and Huerta.
That's right.
And that one's in Budapest, Hungary.
That is also correct. At
we know
the Budapest Sports Arena.
Is there a time difference on that? Oh, it's a tape delay. Never mind.
Yeah, it's a tape delay show.
Okay, so it's a shame they can't, stream it live for the hardcores, you know?
No. No. Absolutely not.
Looking at April...
I like having my Fridays in order. I like being able to do what I do during the day and cover fights in the evening. Don't change it up.
And the week after that, we've got Chandler and Gertz, and then we got Poirier and Gaethje.
Did you say Chandler and Gertz?
Gertz?
What did you say?
Brandon Gertz.
No.
I'm saying it.
The main event of the next week's show is Chandler and Primus.
I'm talking April 13th.
Yeah. Brett Primus, the champion, versus Michael Chandler.
I must have the wrong information.
You got totally wrong information. There's
Unless I just broke some news and you're going to be like, God damn it.
No. I guarantee you that the card for Bellator 197 is Brent Primus defending the title against Michael Chandler. Brandon Gertz is not on this card anywhere.
Okay.
Guarantee it.
Alright. UFC, just looking at the end of April, we've got Barboza and Lee at Fight Night 128. And the end of April, in Rosemont, Illinois.
Fedor
Fedor
Emelianenko and Frank Mir.
That's going to be something.
Yeah, it will be, because I'll be there.
Oh, man. So, for that, are you going to go to the weigh-ins as well? Do they do the public weigh-ins anymore?
Yeah, I'm doing everything. Press conference, weigh-ins, fights, anything they do, I'll be there.
Alright, maybe do some interviews as well? Video or, video interviews or just regular ones?
I'm gonna do whatever I can do. I'm a one-man crew. I'm not going with a producer and a camera operator, so there's only so much I can do, but we'll see.
That'd be kind of cool if you had like a camera operator for one night only.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I've been with people like the MMA fighting people when they have a camera person and somebody in front of the camera and an audio technician, and it's like, you know what? I can see why I'd like to work for this outfit. They got a pretty nice crew that's running around here doing everything, working together as a team. It'd be nice to have a little backup and be able to work together to put those kind of packages out there.
Now, as far as, we're going to talk about some news here. Volkov's win, how far up the ladder do we have him climb up? Because there's a couple of intriguing fights where people are speculating right now.
The ranking advisory told us that his movement up the charts should be high with a win. To me, that meant moving him up to either number 3 or number 4. I don't remember which I chose, but I do know that in the process, I also dropped Fabricio Verdum an equivalent number of spots. So they basically flipped.
So it's basically trading positions for those two then.
That's what I'm saying.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Nagano would be a good fight. I don't know. JDS maybe?
JDS has been out of action so long, he's not even ranked.
Oh, he's not even ranked anymore. Shoot, I thought he was up there still. Okay.
No.
Okay. Because I know he'd love to fight Cormier or Miocic, but that's... I don't know if he's going to get the winner of that fight.
I don't know. Honestly, with him not being in the rankings, I don't even know if he's doing anything anymore.
Yeah. Apparently it's been confirmed Jose Aldo and Jeremy Little Heathen Stevens.
Well, that's good.
That's an interesting fight. Aldo's got... I think it's house money at this point. I think he needs to win. If he doesn't win, he's done. Simple as that.
That's fair.
And the day you doubt Jose Aldo, I don't know. The odds are going to be very interesting when that comes down the pipe for fight week.
True.
I can't believe I'm going to ask you this, because I know we talked about it a few weeks ago. Do you think we're going to see Derek Lewis and Francis Ngannou? Talk about two big boys.
I guess I can't rule it out because Nagano's number 1 and Lewis is number 5, so it's always a possibility. But I think Volkov just leaped over him, so when the rankings update, you're probably getting a better chance of Volkov and Ngannou than you are Lewis, because Lewis would have to beat somebody ahead of him to catch up.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for Lewis because, I mean, getting vaulted by Volkov. I mean, he didn't do anything wrong.
But these
Volkov
things happen.
Yeah.
Guys lose their spots all the time because somebody scores a huge upset. It's just the nature of the sport. You can't go and cry about it. You just got to go get a win and try to get back to where you were.
Did you hear who Danny Roberts wants to fight in Liverpool?
I believe he called out Connor?
Cerrone.
Oh, that's right.
That's...
I knew it started with a C.
I don't know if that's a wise fight. I think Cerrone would enjoy that fight for a number of reasons, because he'd probably get a payout with bonus for that fight.
Cerrone enjoys fighting, period. You don't have to tell him to enjoy it whether there's a bonus on the line or not. He just enjoys it, period.
Yeah, I mean, it's like McGregor and a microphone.
Yeah, actually, that's a good way to segue out of me saying Connor instead of Cerrone. Good analogy.
Oh, man. I saw this on a couple of different different outlets. Did you hear the story about Misha Tate?
Yeah, she had her dog and was going out for a walk, and some dog started attacking her dog, and she's like 6 or 7 months pregnant at this point. Yeah, so she, to protect her pup, dived on the dog and got bit by this attacking, mauling dog.
Jesus.
She's just a little bit nuts.
Just a little bit. Just a smidge.
But you know what? I respect that amount of devotion to someone's pet, someone's family member like that. Because, I mean, I know that's risky considering she's 7 months pregnant, but if you love your dog or your cat the way I love my cat, I'd do the same. I'd do it.
I tolerate my cat.
No, you'd do it for chaos. I know you would.
Okay. Let's move on to Bellator 200. There's an interesting fight that's been added.
That's true.
Kate Jackson and Anastasia Yankova.
Mm-hmm.
Yankova, sorry.
Yeah, I knew who you meant.
She hasn't fought since last April, but I don't know. Jackson is tough.
Yeah.
Like, she's tough as nails tough. Like,
and
I wouldn't want to fight her in my comeback fight.
And that's a hometown fight for her.
Yeah, and you know what the main event is of that card?
Of course.
Oh, that's Calvillo and Musasi for the middleweight title. Krokop and Nelson, Paige Rickles, Davis Vassell.
Yeah, it's a stacked up card.
Holy smoke, you should go to that card.
I don't have that kind of budget.
Come on, it's at the arena. It's in the Wembley. Come on, you could do it.
You're going to pay me to fly over there?
Yeah, they take Monopoly money, right?
No, they don't.
Damn it. Okay. Let's see. Tyson Nam is fighting for Fight Night Global 86 in the main event. Good to see him get a payday there. We talked about Ronda Rousey last week. Do you want to mention the story about the Snickers bars on this show, or do you want to move on? Because that was funny.
No, I think we should move on.
All right. Just look up Ronda Rousey and Snickers, and you'll get that joke we're avoiding today. Darren Stewart's fighting Eric Spicely at UFC Liverpool.
Correct.
John Anik, Jimmy Smith, and Joe Rogan will be the commentary team for UFC 223.
Mm-hmm.
Thiago Alves is fighting Aliv at 224 in Rio de Janeiro.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, what else did I write down here? Bellator 196. Ed Ruth is going to welterweight.
Okay.
He is fighting Easy Ed, Did I write this down? Laszlo Furco.
Okay.
Yep. Cub Swanson, Frank Yeager confirmed for UFC Atlantic City. And oh, goody, another drug failure, Stevie.
Oh?
Augusto Mendez, flagged by USADA. He's been pulled from Fight Night 128.
Oops.
Yeah, out of competition sample from March 7th. The show, Fight Night 128 in Atlantic City, New Jersey. That's the main card. Actually, I don't have that main event on here. Actually, yeah, I don't have it on here. Jake Ellenberger's back.
Ah.
Brian Barberina is his opponent.
Nice.
That's a good fight. That's a fight he can win.
That's a quality fight.
So I do want to mention this, and this will be the last news. I wasn't kidding. Gertz is fighting Chandler.
No.
As of 20 minutes ago, it's official. It just got announced. I'm seeing it here. Yeah, it's the main event.
All right, well then let's wrap it up because I got work to do.
Yeah, Bellator 197 main event. It's been reported by MMAfighting.com, and Gertz just confirmed it on Twitter.
Seriously, let's wrap it up right now.
All right. Well, before we wrap it up, Stevie, what's on tap for Thursday night AMP?
Nothing. I gotta go do this, so nothing.
All right. All right. Well, for Stevie J, I'm Peter H, the Hardcore Canadian. Thanks for listening. As I always say, never leave it to the judges. Good night, everybody.